So, welcome everybody. This is the first time I'm doing a Twitch stream on tech, but I'm doing it. Relate, aka Chris, usually streams in this time slot about Ember and all different kind of open source stuff. Currently, he's unavailable, so this morning, I think 30 minutes ago, we discussed that I could take over and do a bit of open source Ember work. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm not sure how it goes. I usually stream art, and I recently moved. My setup is all messed up, but we'll probably get there. I have my Twitch chat not logged in on my iPad to the side, so I'd probably be able to read some of the things that you chat. Feel free to ask any questions. Maybe Chris can help me out at some point if I don't know anything. So let's start by showing you my head and the website, or my desktop, basically. So if I'm correct, you should be able to now see Twitch. We had some troubles. We're here. So I talked with Chris, with what kind of CSS stuff I could do, because I really like it. And we discussed that this might be a great one. Hey, Captain Skydiver. Nice to see you here as well. So we're gonna look at design your viewing old guides banner today. I should probably start by closing this repository. So we'll see. We're just gonna start the way I would usually start any new open source project, and that's by going to code and check out the README. So as we can see here, this is a template that we can just do by Ember install guide maker template. And I can probably do that. I have to see here, there's how to use this add-on. So we're gonna click here. I'm just gonna quickly open it in a new tab and see what I need to do. /guides, cool, local developments. This is what we're looking for. So we're just gonna copy this. I probably have not done this project before. So we're just gonna follow this step by step. And I think it should work pretty well. Oh no, the docs have already failed. Whoa! So yeah, let's see how this goes. Okay, so we're gonna do something different. I apparently just need to clone the other thing. Maybe somewhere we'll update this too, but we'll see. Okay, so I just copied this here from the GitHub interface. I'm using SSH. If you're using HTTP, you can use the other thing, or apparently there's also GitHub CLI now. I just use this. We're just gonna clone this one. Oh, that was way quicker. So we're gonna cd to guide maker template. Knowing Ember a bit, we probably should do npm install. Oh, I will quickly cancel this and go to the correct branch first, and then do npm install. I really like the fact that we're doing parallel coding right now. I now see why you like it so much, streaming open source things, Chris. Whoa, you made the emote of your dog. That's so cool. So if you want the emote, go to Chris and you should probably sub him, and then you will get this amazing Rodney emote too, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Chris? So this will take a while. I hope you all are enjoying what I'm doing, because I usually do art stuff, which I probably will in the future again. But if this is a cool thing, then I might try this more often. So I think I should be able to do a shout out to Chris's channel in chat. However, I cannot access chat because I am only having my Whoa! Did I just get a sub? What happened? Oh no, you're hosting my stream. That's even cooler. So I made the GIF that you just saw. The hard one. Okay, so we've done npm install. Usually Ember serve is the next thing that we can do. So let's try if that works. There's nothing else running on port 4200, so at least from that perspective it should be okay. For all of you out there that don't like developing in Safari, you're gonna have a hard time, because I usually develop in Safari, or at least sometimes do. Oh, you should move into the guides folder. Okay, it says I should move into the guides folder. Should I really do so? I'm just asking chat here. We'll see. Okay, I shouldn't. Cool. So we're now waiting for Babel to build. At some point it will be okay. I probably need also a place I can code. So I use Visual Studio Code. I'm not a person who is super adept at using this. So if you see me using weird stuff, please forgive me. I have almost never a clue on what I'm doing. But we'll find out together. Okay, so we're gonna open the projects. We're gonna open this one. And as usual with an Ember application, while this is loading, it should have the same structure that you're used to. So that's super nice. We should be pretty good on finding stuff. Okay, it has not built yet. We'll just give it a second. So we have the app here, and since this is an add-on, we probably should look here. There's probably something called styles. So there's this add-on CSS, and there's a table of contents CSS, and there are components. So we have the info banner is probably our thing. I'm just guessing here. We'll look at it in a second. Templates, there's an info banner that shows info. Great. Okay, so our Ember application has booted. So let's go to localhost. That's not how you type it. So my MacBook gets a bit slow from hosting Twitch 2. It's just a tiny 13-inch MacBook. So hopefully it goes okay. But we might not be the quickest. Okay, So we have this here. These are the guides. So far this works. Let's go back to looking at our issue to see what we should be working on. And I'm going to take a sip of my water. Okay, cool. When you look at an old version of a guide, you see a banner to let you know. Okay, that means that if I select a version that should be old, there is this. This is not a banner. I'm also a bit confused that this definitely does not look like this right now. I'm just quickly glancing at my chat. Oh, see the yeah, good, exactly. See the undesigned version here. Hey. Ah, cool. So all the styles are deleted, which means that we're just gonna change this piece that is here to probably represent something like this, if I'm not mistaken. So what I usually do in this case, I would just inspect this element to see if I'm actually correct on what kind of thing it is. So this has a class old version warning. It has an icon that does not show up. And then some text and a link. Cool. So we have this class old version warning, and I'm just going to quickly go through here if I can find where it comes from. Right. So that's here. It does an if statement, so it checks whether or not the version that is the current version is the same as the one you've just selected, and it shows this. However, if I look at the info banner, that looks like something interesting too. But we can just start with what is here. And do you know if we have, Chris, the info banner somewhere? Like, can I see it in the code? Okay, cool. Then we're just gonna style this, and we'll see if we make it a component at some point. So if I go here into the add-on CSS, I think we can just paste it, put it here. Old version warning was it called. And we start by at least giving it a background color. And I expect it to be Ember Orange if I look at this. Which is a color that is probably somewhere. Or it might not. Ooh, so it might not be Ember Orange. Cool. We can probably color pick this. Let me check. EmberStyleGuides.netlify.app. So I have to type this from chat. Cool. Netlify.app. Components, concepts, colors, whoop whoop. So we have the variable color brand. Can I use this as a variable, or should I just use the hex color? So I'm just currently waiting on Chris to confirm this. We can at least like check out this first. See, we have a color now, so that works. Okay, but since this is a banner that needs to make people aware, I think this color could be okay, since all the other colors are darker, or this is the only like attention attracting color. If we look here, we now see that the context is really padded to the line, so we're gonna add some padding. I usually like to do this just here to see like what looks great, what looks good. If we look here, we at some point will get the icon back, don't worry. We just need to make sure why it went. And I think it looks better if we add a bit more margin to the sides than to the top. I will check if we have somewhere here documented if we do things with 4 or 8 points in the CSS. But I don't see it right now, so somebody will give me a comment if I'm not using the correct distance here. The other thing that we saw was that the color of the text was white in the example, and that makes sense because it's really hard to read right now. And we're just for now gonna ignore the link thing because this is not accessible. I can even hardly read it, and when you hover it completely disappears. And then their last thing that, so we're first gonna copy these 2 lines back to our piece of CSS. Gonna nicely indent them. So far so good. And then I wanna look at why icon attention circled doesn't work, and it might be here. Okay, so apparently it isn't. Maybe it's in my warnings. It also doesn't seem to be there. So that used to be using Font Awesome. Ooh. So then there are options, and I hope that Chris will lay them out in chat. There's the option to just import an image, or a add-on that does Font Awesome, but I'm not sure if we want to go there. Do you have an ID, Chris? Use SVG because we have a license. Ooh, cool. So let's do that. Let's find the Font Awesome. Font Awesome. Press enter. SVG icons. So yes, we're gonna look for the icon that was used in the example, the round thing with the exclamation mark. I am not sure if this will, yeah, see, this will give us nice ones. I am wondering if we want to, okay. So some of these are dark and others aren't, which means that those are pro, and I'm not sure if they're part of our license. So I'm gonna go with the round one. Otherwise, I might have suggested we use the square one because it looks nicer if we make it like the same way the banner is. So for now, we're just gonna use the exclamation circle. And I don't need it to be pink. But we'll see. Start using this icon. Yes, please. I want it to be just SVG. Let's see if this will just give me the SVG. It's a canvas, but it doesn't really show the SVG. Ooh, this is... Download SVG. Okay. I should have looked at that button first. Okay, so let's see. Here we have somewhere a public folder with images where we can just drop this one. So it's called exclamation circle solid SVG. At least it's super obvious what it is. And now we go back to, I'm just going to quickly close the info banner stuff. Go here. Instead of an icon like this, we're just going to make it an image tag. Image with a source that is images / exclamation circle solid. And we'll see if it shows up. So it's probably going to be way too big. We're definitely not necessarily going to be happy with it right now, but it should show up if I refresh. Oh, okay. So apparently I forgot the first slash. That's why it also didn't autocomplete. So the next time that's happening to you, that should be a sign. Let's see if it works now. Okay, so it's still a bit confused, but let me see why it's confused. I should probably put .svg at the end to make it less confused about what it's doing. Ta-da! Okay, so this is definitely not what we're looking for. But it works, okay? So we're getting there. Let's give this a class. And we call it warning icon. And now I have to, since this is CSS and not SAS, we cannot do nesting. So we're gonna just write it out here. We're gonna write, I think this will work. I'm used to writing a lot of SAS, so this might not work right away. Warning icon. And we're gonna make the height of the icon restricted to, I guess, 16 pixels. If this turns out to be not the correct size, then we're going to change it. We'll probably need also to change the fill of the SVG. And somehow it did not change anything. Haha, so here we see that I probably typed height wrong. Ta-da! So this worked. It should be larger. So we're just gonna fiddle with this to see what the correct height is. And as you can see, this together with this text doesn't really work well yet. So we're gonna put the text in a separate HTML element to make sure that it flows nicely. We're just gonna put this in a paragraph. I'm not 100% sure that this is the correct HTML thing to do, but at least we given the text and the icon their own container. Oh yeah, so I did not fix height in my CSS. And we're gonna put it at 1.5 relative. We'll see. refresh. So far, not too bad. The size seems to be okay. However, it's now all below each other, and that's not what we want. So let's see. What I might do is make this display flex. And then there's still something weird with the link. The link has... Oh, there's something here that does something with the sibling or the thing that follows up a paragraph. Because if we remove that, then it's okay. I'm not sure where this comes from. We can quickly Google this one. Or not Google, but like see. So this comes from vendor.css, and I'm not 100% where it comes from. Ooh, just make it a div instead of a paragraph. That's definitely a way around this. I'm not sure if people like Mel would be okay with making it a div, since I think technically it might be a paragraph. But we'll see. This might fix our problems for now. And now we're gonna quickly, yeah, so as we can see here, we see that this thing, these things together, and then the button at the end is the way the design was, and we're gonna just quickly check if that's what we want. Okay, so with display flex, we're now there. So everything is here, and we could look at justify content. That's the way we're gonna space it. Yeah. Space around between. So we could do space between with the icon, then the text centered, and then the thing at the end. However, this looks kind of weird, at least in my opinion, because now the icon is separate from the text. So if we put those together, so we put the image with the text in a div, that might be an option. Or the other option would be to... Let me check if that works, because I just made this up. I thought we could just float this right. However, that might need a display thing. Or a position thing. Let me check, why is this? So we'll see if what we're going there. So let's first do display flex, because that looks quite okay. Then we're doing space between to make sure that this moves there, and we need to somehow get the icon in with the other one. I have no idea. Normally floats works the way I want it to. But here we're just gonna go with flex. I think that works always, or I like the way that it works. The only thing that we're gonna need to do is make a div for this first part, and then we're gonna nest some divs here. So we're gonna make this div surround this one, because now there is one div in here. No, that end shouldn't. Oh yeah, that's the new beginning for this one. And then we're going, oh, this one should be the one. This all the way down. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's why I don't necessarily really like this way, but it works, so we'll definitely make it better than it was. We said display flex, justify content center. Nee, content space between, which means that it will put as much space between your elements as it can evenly. And we need to refresh. Oh, yeah. So the CSS that we just did to make these two nicely work together don't work anymore. But since we've already looked at this warning icon, and it's always something that's inline, we can just make this inline. Block. Does it work? Apparently it doesn't, and I'm not sure why it doesn't work. Flex. Or maybe it's this one. I think this div. Yeah, so this div is display block, which isn't necessarily bad. But it also... We could do display flex on this one, which would probably solve it. At least we can check. So that definitely solves it. I'm just not 100% sure that we need it, because instead of making this one display flex, we could also make this div display inline block. However, as we can see, these two are currently not on the same height, so maybe ooh, that's also fancy. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we just do what you said and make this one display flex, because then also the height thing behaves really nicely. So let's do that. I'm gonna give it a class because I like class is old version warning text. I would say not link, but not link is a weird one. So let's call it text, and then we're quite okay. I'm not sure if the other CSS that we wrote right here will now break, because we're technically, it's still in this, but this one is in between there. So we'll see display flex spacer with flex growth. Yeah, I think we could just give the warning icon a bit of margin right. Margin right. So let's say 8 pixels for now. And I recently decided that I would love some border radius on this banner, and I'm gonna say 4 pixels. So I'm doing everything except the height for now in 4 pixel, a 4-point grid. I'm not sure what point of grid the EmberTimes uses, but we'll see. Okay, so this doesn't look half bad now. The only thing that looks bad is the fact that this somehow there is some margin somewhere. Oh, no. I didn't want to click that. Okay, so next to display flex, we're gonna align content probably center. I struggle always with which one I need. Apparently it's not content. Then it might be items. It did move, right? Yes. So the icon is now centered to the text, so that definitely looks better. I like the way it's spaced now, so we're going to align these items center. This is the line we need to add here. Center. And the only thing that we can think about, we could make this icon also white. Although with the black and white here, I don't actually mind the fact that it's black. So I would love your input in the chat to see what we're gonna do there. Let's for a second look at the link. The link is currently completely unreadable. So I will check the style guide and see if we have any link there that looks okay. Link card. Not really. Okay, so we'll come up with our own. That's not a real problem. So here it looks more like a button than a link, and I'm not sure if I want to go there because for me it feels kind of weird. So I think maybe just leaving it a link isn't too bad. But first thing first, let's make the color also white. So that's part one, and then we need to come up with what the hover state will be, which we apparently already broke. Old version warning. Anchor color white. Okay. Okay, so apparently my CSS is off. My CSS selector is off here because it did not work. Oh, it did, but it's overwritten by the vendor CSS, which has me a bit confused because I am using a quite specific selector, but apparently it's not selective enough, so we're just gonna think a link. You mean like this? We'll see. Yes, you're amazing. Cool. Thanks for the CSS help, Chris. Usually it's the other way around. So, okay, we have the link now. We just need some kind of hover thing to happen. I'm not sure, if I'm honest, what we want to do. So we can take a look at the colors and see maybe what we could do is use the gray that they use here as the color for the text first, and then use a wise on hover. So we can definitely check that if that looks okay. So we're gonna make this the color and then do old version warning A. I think I need. Whoa, this will look weird. I'm not sure this is okay CSS though. Ooh, but then I should also use that variable thing for the other background color. So we're gonna do that soon. I'm gonna also do a break pretty soon because I need to get out the laundry in a few minutes. So we're gonna see if like it's now grayish and whether or not it's grayish and becomes white, but you can't really tell. I'm also not sure if it works. Oh no, I didn't want to copy the link. I wanted to inspect the element. So we have this color works. The question is, does it change? It changes to white. You can just not see it. So this is a bad idea. I'm thinking if we maybe want to change it completely to black. So make this white and then this black. It might be too intense. Okay, let's try the button look in a second. So this looks very intense. And the underline somehow disappeared that I think we're doing everywhere for a link. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick break, be back in 5 minutes. I'm not sure, wait, I might actually have, no, I don't have something that will say I'm back in 5 minutes, but I'll be back in 5 minutes. And I will be doing my laundry real quick. See you in 5 minutes. So we'll just wait for Chris to have his coffee ready before we continue. I just realized that you're now all seeing my Twitch Streamlabs thing. We can go back to this. I thank you all for being here. So if you haven't been here before, then welcome to my channel. I usually do art, but I also really like doing things for the Ember community. I'm not an Ember developer per se, but I do really like the Ember community, and I've run around in Tomster costumes or Zoe costumes at EmberConf and volunteer at EmberFest too. So if any of you is showing up to EmberFest, you can meet me there in person, and hopefully Chris too. So yeah, let's see if we can make the button ID work, because maybe the reason why it was in the design is because it definitely looks better. Let's see. Let's see if this just works out of the box. And we probably need the secondary one. Even though I said I would wait for Chris, right? That did not work well. That's when I get too excited. I just really want to build things. So we added the class that came from the guides, and we'll just see if that does anything here. Okay, so it does do stuff. I'm quickly gonna remove the styling that we added before, because that's now the thing that's breaking. Okay, so this doesn't look too bad. I'm just wondering, like, the hover color now becomes the same color as the banner. Do we have a color that is lighter? So we have color brand, and then we have all different kinds of colors that are cool, but only for diagrams and stuff. Because I was thinking that maybe we can lighten the background color of the warning. Did I write lighten down wrong? Is it? Oh, that might not be that is probably a SAS property. At least I think so. Welcome back. I have to say that I secretly already started. So yeah, I tried your suggestion of doing the button, and it looks good. But if we hover it, it becomes the same color as the banner. So that looks less cool. So I now see why, at least in the design, it's this kind of see-through-y lighter button. So I'm wondering if we should just style it the same but use different colors. So we could use this lighter or opaque thing and then make it wide when you hover it. The color for that is not here. But I would love to know where it is. That's not a problem. Can I find it somewhere on the internet? And I think maybe the padding should be less too. if you inspect, you can see the global. Ah, here's global. I think you're looking for this color or this one. This one is transparent and this one is just lighter. Yeah, this one. We could see what it looks like if we use this as the background color for the banner first. Because I'm just interested. No. That's not going to be that color. So that's that's okay. That just looked really bad. Button Hoover state. Thank you. We're gonna change this one to that one. Not too bad, not too bad. I think that could work. We could try both. So see if the AC dark. True. I was already scared that it might not work. But it does feel less on brand like this. But that might just be me. Okay, so let's... I can just open Firefox too. That's not a problem. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly reload this one. Because there's also the option... And now it's reloading and opening a browser and running Streamlabs. That might have been a bit too much to ask. So this color feels definitely on brand. However, this just doesn't work. So I was thinking what we could do is use the opaque color that was here somewhere. And then make it hover to white. So we're gonna do a, I think, primary button instead of a secondary button. And then, so the primary button, oh, it just darkens. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm definitely a fan of this color for this. And now I was wondering, I just saw the colors that, here they are. Because this color brand 40 is an opaque version, so that will look different when we're when on different backgrounds. So that's why I would prefer not to use that one. Hoover state, please. Okay, so The color is not too bad, just the contrast between the white and the view is really bad. I don't think this would have gotten through the contrast checker either. So let's see if I have a contrast checker here. I thought I might. I can definitely ask it to look at, is this okay? So it already thinks that the white on red is not okay. So that's already an interesting one. Because the contrast of 3.95 is not enough. But if we look at the style guides and yeah, see, so here we can also see that just only at a very, very large font size is the contrast okay. Okay, that's bad. Oh no. But I really don't like the HC dark. But that might just be me, and I might just need to... So this, with the original colors here, it just feels a bit almost off-brand. Do we have other options? No, because all of these are I thought so too. You mean like making it black, right? We could do black with the red icon. And then this button just works, right? That would be like, this would be an interesting experiment. I'm just gonna quickly change the SVG to fill not with current color, but with yeah, so this is the only fill we have, which somehow made... Where did it go? Here. So if we fill this with this hex color, which is on brand, did that work? Yes, that worked. I think it is there, right? Or do we just need more? Let's check. Yeah, it needs more border radius. Yeah, so I think, so except for the fact that we did not change this to black. And we could up the border radius a bit. And then we probably need AC dark for that one to pass. Let's make this 8. That looks okay. But I think with the button being border radius 8, I think 4 should just do it. I don't think that this is a weird ID, Chris. I actually kind of like it. Let's see if the color thing is... I somehow this browser... So, okay, so there are things here that where the contrast does not work, but that's within the links part below. So our thing here now works. I'm a fan, if I'm honest. But I'm not sure everybody else is. So what we could do is we can make a screenshot. The header doesn't use black. Oh, you mean in the real design it isn't black. In the real design it looks like the thing that is here, right? Oh, that's what you... It could be a different, like not really black. Correct, it's not completely black. So we can use the same color here too. Now they should be the same color. I think it's remarkable that you were able to see that via Twitch. So we can create a screenshot of this. We actually don't need that much CSS right now. And we make this like this. Okay, so it doesn't look bad. It looks completely different from the design that was proposed here. So that's definitely true. Let's first create a branch for this, because I think we should just create a pull request. We will create a pull request first, a branch first. So I've set up my terminal to, if I open a new tab, to open it in the exact same directory, because I got tired of navigating back to every directory every time. So that's what just happened here. I'm gonna git checkout, go in my case -b, which means new branch, a new branch that I call old version warning. Yeah, that was written correct, design. So we moved all these things with me. And I can just check what happened. So we wrote this CSS. That was as expected, and it's only the CSS that we need for this this part. And then here we see that we created all these divs to make the layout nice with their classes. But I can also see here that we added the ES button secondary class to the button class that was already there. And I'm now thinking that maybe we can just remove the button class because it shouldn't be doing anything. So before I'm going to commit this stuff, I'm just going to quickly check if my observations are correct. So I'm just going to refresh. I'm back to Safari. Sorry, people. We're just going to check if this is okay. And the other thing we could check too is, so this still looks the same. We could also, for a second, but we can try that out just here without changing it. See if like the normal button would suffice. So not the secondary one, but what it looks like if we do the primary one. Instead of the secondary one, that should just work by removing this class here and then using not adding that thing behind it. Okay, so now we have the normal button that will darken. this feels better in balance, if I'm honest. So what do you think? Is the secondary button or the primary button? I would now think that we need a voting option, but I think we're just going to go with the primary button. I'm going to grab another screenshot. Then we need to change this to yes button. Again, we can just do git diff again. So we haven't changed anything to the CSS. We're still happy with that. And then we have made this an ES button. So instead of the button class that didn't do anything, we're just doing this. And I'm not sure why this changed. And we might also not commit it. But maybe Chris can help. What we'll do in the pull request is we're probably going to put both screenshots in, like saying, hey, this is the secondary option one and this is the primary option one, and then people in the screenshot can pick. I'm not sure why the add OCLIF config thing was removed in my package.json, but let's just hope for now that's okay. So since it's not that complicated, I'm just gonna git commit it all at the same time. First, I need to add all my files, and then I'm gonna commit all my files with the message created or designed warning old version warning. I have a way to sign my commits. We're gonna push it, make an upstream version of our branch. And I don't have rights. Oh no. Surprise, surprise, this always happens. Oh, so we're just gonna quickly wait for Chris to change that. So I'm wondering how many people are at my channel because they're usually at Chris's channel during this time of day. Well, Chris is, but and who's new and hasn't heard of Chris's channel and should really follow Real 8.2 if they're interested in tech and Ember stuff. Ooh, I have permission. With great power comes great responsibility. So if we go to GitHub, we should now be able to make a pull request right here. It even like automatically shows our branch. And then probably we should say fixes the issue that I forgot the number of. Okay, let's do that here. Fixes version old. Was it called old? Yes, banner. Okay, old version warning banner. We're just gonna put in the screenshots that I took of the two options. I've designed a banner for the old version warning. There are two options. Currently committed is primary one, but the secondary button is also an option. I usually use the preview to see in which order my screenshots are. So I'm just gonna quickly swap the screenshots. Cool, I will change the website redesign like this. We're gonna quickly in bold add primary button. And then here, secondary button. So far, so good. Create a pull request. And then I'm wondering, did it add the... Yes, so it also added the SVG. I somehow did not see it when we looked at our Git differences, but it's there. So Chris, do I need to add you as reviewers, or is there a team that I need to add? Okay, so I will assign myself. I don't think that I need this. So we're done. We created a banner. I'm confused as why the screenshots with the same button look different. But we'll see. We'll see. So I think this is it. It's almost lunchtime. We could start on something else, but we could also just do lunch. At least in the Netherlands, it's 12. I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope you had fun. I definitely had fun. It was super fun to just pick this up and make something that looks cool. And I want to thank you for tagging along with me. I hope you learned something. And if not, I hope you had a great time. So maybe at some point I will do this again. I'm not going to promise anything because I was thinking of doing just art. And I don't feel as technical as maybe Chris does. But I really had fun. So I will let you know if I'm doing a tech stream again. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I wish you all a great day. So let's transition to this one. Goodbye, have a ton of fun, and I wish you all a great day. Goodbye.